Man for me, love will I Virtual one goes away. We proud of who we are. Sit tonight. Sit out today. Virtual one goes away. We proud of who we are.
Me a wandang bagalmo, and a wandang jangman jongo, my brother. Avoid numbers, pull up your band. We go still chop out my sister.
When they see me coming, Ike la wagon la boys, money for me, follow me. Turula me sita kilo wikisa, inshallah. There's the one side, can you hear the trouble?
Can't man for me, love will I want. There's the one goes away. We proud of who we are. There's sit out today. One goes away. We proud of who we are. Can't man for me, love will I want. Virtual one goes away. We proud of who we are. Sit out today. Virtual one goes away. We proud of who we are. Lenzi ganse tenuleno. Ovine konsansi. Venwa we are watching go. Ovine konsansi. Venzi ganse tenuleno. Ovine konsansi. Venwa we are watching go. Ovine konsansi.
Ngakeke bumake. Yeah, I'll sing some. If you know say you be proud of your beginning, make you the shine your light. Just follow me, follow me, shine your light. Le bambo le wa, we will know the identity, we will know the identity. Come any pan this one again. I'll be proud, my milky girl, yeah. You're way, I'm proud of who I am, yeah. C'est pas point to, yeah. Bafusa moye, bangante bangjunye, genta asinto.
Can't man for me, love will I want. Virtual one goes away. We proud of who we are. Sit out today. Virtual one goes away. We proud of who we are. Lenzi ganse tenuleno, Ovine konsansi. Venwa we are watching go. Ovine konsansi. Venzi ganse tenuleno, Ovine konsansi. Venwa we are watching go. Ovine konsansi.
Come see the special place where I come from. The moon is bright, we telling stories round the bonfire. We get the firewood and we get the power. We get the sauce, yes we are proud of who we are. Now not to say all man, not chunje.
Yeah, moe, awa konga tuma. One so yo alaya kisanga. Ile. Listen to afobia. They are a daddy. Ayo a daddy.
Can't man for me, love will I want. Virtual one goes away. We proud of who we are.
Voice of the Voiceless TV presents to you Weekly Echoes, featuring education, entertainment, entrepreneurship debate, arts and culture. This is Voice of the Voiceless. Be a voice, not an echo.
Hello, guys. Thank you so much for joining in. Good evening, good afternoon, everyone, wherever you're watching us from. It's always a pleasure for us to have you on this live show every weekend. And, we always come up on Saturdays, and it's always 7 to 8 p.m. It's quite an interesting and educative live show, especially the one that we are having today. And, I do ask everyone to share as you join, because it's going to be life building, it's going to be transformative. And I believe that it is really worth your time and your data to be able to, tune in and get what you are supposed to get from this program today. We actually believe that building lives is not just about being able to support you financially. Sometimes it's also about bringing in life transforming messages or educative messages like the ones we are bringing up today and the ones we have been bringing up lately, to help build you and also to help you grow. Let me know if you are able to get us, guys, and drop your comments at the comment section. Share this live video to your group, share it to your friends, share it to everyone that you can be able to share, so that we should have a good number of people join us before we actually go live. Again, I'm seeing a lot of people joining in, like Blanche Ayong. Thank you so much, Blanche, for joining. Hi, Rita. Good evening, and thank you for joining. Also, let us know where you are joining in from. It's always a pleasure for us to also know your location. I might not be able to call all the names, but I will read everything. I also have Annie. Hi, Annie, joining from where? Yaoundé. Young Emil from Yaoundé. We have Ngum Solange. Beryl, thank you, Beryl, for joining. We appreciate, and we have BB Edit joining from Yaoundé. We have Daisy. Rexy, Berinette, Gumluis, Clarice. We have Abigail Kims. We have so we have a good number of people who are joining in, and we appreciate you. Thumbs up, man. So I'm going to be taking about a 17 seconds break, and after this musical break, which is going to last just about 17 seconds, I will bring in our guest for today, for him to give out the knowledge that we so much desire.
Voice of the Voiceless TV presents to you Weekly Echoes, featuring education, entertainment, and Voice of the Voiceless TV presents to you Weekly Echoes, featuring education, entertainment, entrepreneurship debate, arts, and culture. This is Voice of the Voiceless. Be a voice, not an echo.
Kanjindin, man from me, love will lay one. Major one goes away. We proud of who we are. Tootin' day, sit day. Major one goes away. We proud of who we are.
Me a wandang bagalmo, and a wandang jangman jongo, my brother. Avoid numbers, pull up your band, we go still chop on my sister.
When they see me coming, Ike la wagon la boys, money for me, follow me. Turula musica que lo we kiss, inshallah. Cherere, we don't want to say, can you hear the
Voice of the Voiceless TV presents to you Weekly Echoes, featuring education, entertainment, entrepreneurship debate, arts, and culture. This is Voice of the Voiceless. Be a voice, not an echo.
This is Voice of the Voiceless. Be a voice and not an echo. And as I did promise you, I'm having today on the show Dr. Javnyuy Joybert, who is a multi-award productivity and business speaker. He's also a trainer, a consultant, and entrepreneur. And he is a CEO of COSDEF Group Limited. He is also one of the finest entrepreneurs that Cameroon has, who has been touring all over the world and dishing out the knowledge that we are about to have here today for free. Hi, Dr. Javnyuy. Thank you for joining the program today.
Thank you so much, Chris, and thank you for inviting me. Looking forward to an excellent session.
Of course, and we are so excited that you accepted the invitation to come live today. I understand that today we are going to be talking about employability skills. And when we posted this topic, it was like some people were trying to figure out what it will be all about. And maybe before we just start our session today, can you just enlighten people just a definition or a breakdown of what we mean when we are talking about employability skills?
All right. Thank you so much. Um, you know, in life, for you to succeed in whatever you do as a professional, especially if you are looking at starting your career in a more structured workplace, or what they like to call the corporate world, one of the most important things that you need is the ability to be employable. And employability skills are those skills that you have that makes you employable, that makes an employer to see you as a valuable and a relevant professional. Everybody can be a graduate with a first degree, but not everybody can be employable. So people can go to school and have the knowledge, but they don't have the ability to actually put that knowledge into practice. So when you have the skills that makes you a better professional, it make you to be employable. As a skill as basic as the right thinking or positive thinking can be an employable skill. It all depends on the platform, the organization, the industry where you're looking at. So anything that you have in you that is valuable and that can enable you to get things done in the workplace, that is part of employability skills.
Oh, that is quite interesting. Now, and then this leads me to ask you this other question. Now, who are those who actually need these skills? Are those who are already employed, or those who are still searching for employment, or both?
Employability skills is for everybody. These skills are needed by everybody, especially if you are about to make a career move. But these skills are highly needed by fresh graduates who are looking at entering the job market for the first time. They become more critical for them because they may just leave school with a lot of theoretical knowledge and they are not able to compete in the job market. So, with the right employability skills, you can be able to position yourself. Now, I always differentiate between two people that look for a job. There are people that look for a job as a typical job seeker, and there are people that look for a job as value creators. What makes you a value creator is the quality of the skills that you have. So a typical job seeker just look for a job with their certificate and nothing to add. But a job seeker who is a value creator actually has skills that makes the person to be employable or to be worth the time of the employer. So if you are fresh graduate or you're still a young professional, you need employability skills. Now, let us get into people who are already working. They still need employability skills. Why? Because the industry is growing. As the industry is growing, as the company is growing, you need to make yourself more relevant by acquiring the skills that the company needs. For example, when COVID-19 came, many companies went to remote working. Majority of the companies, especially in developed world and even some African countries. And if you don't have the skills to use online platforms like StreamYard, Zoom, Google Drive, and all of these important online platforms, you will no longer be employable in that particular dispensation because the industry has moved, but you have not moved with the industry as far as your skills are concerned. Same for an organization. If when the organization is growing in terms of sales and profitability and customers and all of that, if you are in that organization, you need to grow so that you can remain relevant in that organization. That is why if you enter an organization with a first degree, have plans to have a master's degree if possible, so that you can grow with the organization, you can grow mentally, you can grow in your leadership, which can qualify you to actually remain relevant to that organization. So you see, it's needed by everybody, but it all depends on where are you in life and which skills do you need. That is why there's a lot of talk about upskilling and reskilling. You're upskilling or you're reskilling because you need this to remain relevant in the marketplace. Because if you are not, somebody will take your place.
Now, this is quite interesting. Yeah, from your explanation, it looks like employability skills that it's the core because if you don't have them, you are just like you're so useless as far as employment is concerned. Now, let's go into some of these skills. Like, I want us to talk about some of these skills today that employers are looking for or that
Mhm.
people need to acquire in order to stay useful in the job market.
Yes. Yes. Now, there are a couple of these skills, so many of them actually. And again, it also depends on where you are in life, the kind of thing you're looking at. But there are some foundational employability skills that when you do not have them, no matter what you're doing, you will struggle. And I'm going to do my best to enumerate and explain as many as possible. But the number one employability skills that you need to have is what they call positive self concept. Positive self concept. This is how you carry yourself and how you think about yourself. This is where confidence and self esteem comes in. Let me tell you something, no employer likes an employee who has low self confidence and low self esteem. That kind of person can bring a lot of issues in the team and can the way they address a customer or serve a customer will not be lively or exciting at all. And this kind of skill, they quickly pick it out on you during interview. You see, so if you come and you're talking in a funny way, this one doesn't have self-confidence. And it is your responsibility as a professional to build your positive self-concept. Believe in yourself. Have some confidence in yourself. Invest in your self-esteem. Love yourself. Carry some high level of self-love because this self-concept automatically affects how you talk, which we'll talk about communication. There's no way you can be an excellent communicator if you don't have positive self-concept. The truth is, I can talk to you confidently, or I can be so fluent in what I'm saying because I believe in myself and I believe that what I'm teaching you is good. And that is from positive self-concept. Very important. So, how do you feel about yourself? How much of yourself do you like? What is the level of your confidence? What is the level of your self esteem? Don't put yourself behind the background. Don't always feel that you are not intelligent, you are this or you are that. No, invest in yourself, love yourself, and carry yourself with some respect and confidence. That's the one of the most important skills that you need to have. The second, which is very important, is, and these things are not in order of merit. There are
Yeah.
some people that will have positive self concept, but they will lack the second one, which is communication skills. So, as I'm explaining all of these skills, begin to do a self analysis. Begin to do a self analysis. Look at yourself. Where do I need to improve so I can become more employable in the job market? And talking about employability skills, even entrepreneurs need employability skills. All of these skills, entrepreneurs need them. Okay, it's not just for job seekers. There's no way
Yeah.
as an entrepreneur you can shine in your startup, in your company, when you don't have positive self concept. The second most important skill that you need to have to be employable, communication. Communication. And I will talk about what I like to call it 360-degree communication. In this
Mm,
dispensation, for you to be able to communicate effectively and to command some level of authority in the area of communication, you need to be able to do the following under communication. Number one, you need to be good at written communication. Can you write? If your boss gives you a report right now, can you document it in a very neat format that he can read and understand? It's part of communication in the marketplace. Written communication. Number two, speaking. What I'm doing to you right now, speaking, is part of communication. There are some jobs that you will never get if you cannot speak to people. There are some jobs you will never get if you cannot address a group of people. So you need to invest in your public speaking. There's difference between having public speaking skills and being a public speaker. Those are two big different things. You understand? So you need to
yeah.
invest
Mhm.
in public speaking, which is the subset of that communication. The third part of communication that you need to develop is what you can call how do you call this? Presentation skills. People get to confuse between speaking and presentation. No, there's a way to present something. Now, if I take this glass of juice, if I want to present to you, I want to tell you about this glass and this juice I'm drinking, this is not presentation skills. Many people don't know how to present something in a way somebody will understand. And presentation skills, this is where PowerPoint presentations come in. You go get a job and you cannot even present a report to a board of directors, to a management team, or to your team. You are not employable in that direction. So you need to know how to present things to people. It's very important. That's the fourth part of communication. And the next part of communication is listening. Listening. If I'm talking to you right now and you're not listening, you're not taking down notes, you don't have listening skills under communication. There are some people that they cannot do well in the job, in the marketplace, because when a boss gives instructions, when a colleague in a meeting, in a staff meeting, whatever, management meeting, they don't listen to understand. And there are two important things in listening: paying attention and then processing and understanding what was said. Not just listening and passive, no, pay complete attention. And secondly, make sure you process what you're hearing and understand it. Because until there is processing, there's no understanding. And until there's no understanding, there is no impact. You get the point?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And the last part of, I said 360-degree communication. So the last part of the communication now is this dispensation where we are in right now.
Yes.
If you really want to be employable, you need to know how you can be good in video communication. You can do Facebook videos. You can do a webinar like this and talk well on a virtual platform. It's a part of communication right now. It is a skill for me to talk here in the house and I engage you and you enjoy the conversation I'm having with you. It's a skill and you need to learn it. You see, so virtual communication and being able to do videos with your phone or with your camera is part of communication. And these things are very critical in this particular dispensation. Luckily, we're in a generation of TikTok and Instagram videos and all of that. That is actually a skill many don't know. Now, it's just to make sure that they use it now in the right way, in a corporate way, and be able to advance their careers. So that is the second most important employability skill that people need to know. Communication broken down into those 5 particular levels.
So, okay, so, oh yeah, go ahead. We are still listening.
Good. So the second important skill I want to talk about is teamwork or collaboration. Is very important. If you don't have the ability to collaborate with people, please start investing in that. Start investing in that. Employers like people who can collaborate with people and solve problems, who can collaborate with people and confront situations, who can collaborate with people and provide answers to a challenge, who can respect people's perspective and opinions without shouting at them, but understand and come together and create something amazing. No employer will recruit somebody who cannot work with another human being. And one thing about collaboration is respect for diversity. Respect, you come from a different religion, respect my religion. You come from a different tribe, respect my tribe. You come from a different political party, respect my political party. You come from a different whatever, respect. Diversity is a very important element as far as teamwork is concerned. And in this dispensation right now, we now talk about physical collaboration and virtual collaboration. Physical teamwork and virtual teamwork. There's a way to deal with people in the same room and lead them and partner with them and collaborate with them. Now, in virtual collaboration, the things that are now in virtual collaboration, that there are tools that you need to be effective in virtual collaboration. There's no way you can be good in virtual collaboration if you do not have the skills to use certain platforms. For example, we are collaborating on this StreamYard to have this session right now, this virtual collaboration going on right now.
Yes.
You see, we can work on the same documents using Google Docs. I can work on the document in Houston, in the US, and put on a Google Drive, and you pick it up in Tanzania or in Cameroon and see the same document, do your reviews, and send back to me. Virtual collaboration. And that's why it's very important that if you are listening to me right now, one of the most important things that you need to invest your data, your internet in as a young person is when you go to the internet, start learning those virtual tools, those important virtual tools that will enhance your ability to collaborate in a virtual work environment. I have seen many people that have lost jobs because they don't know how to collaborate with people on a virtual platform. We even have a training on virtual team collaboration that companies hired us to train them. And you go to a company and see a staff doesn't know what Google Drive is, which is possible. So you need to start investing in all of this. You see? So
Yep.
team collaboration is very important, physical, and of course, virtual collaboration. The fourth skill is the fourth, right?
Yes.
Or the fifth?
Yeah.
Okay, the fourth. Good.
Yeah.
The fourth skill I want to talk about is a skill that executives across the world are crazy about it. There was a research that was done for executives, and executive listed 3 top skills that they would like to see in anybody they want to employ. Communication was there, and then this fourth skill was there, which is problem solving. Workplaces, companies, executives, leaders, they want people who can solve problems. Do you have problem solving skills? Are you the kind of professional that when you see a problem, you run or you disappear? Or when you see a problem, you confront the problem and get to the root cause of the problem and begin to create a solution? Are you a kind of person that when you see a problem, you start conceptualizing and looking at the different ways that you can sort out this problem and get this problem to provide a solution to this particular problem? Problem solving means finding solutions when you are faced with difficulties in the workplace. That is it. You have that kind of mindset, that kind of attitude that when there is a problem, you are able to tune yourself in a dimension where you start looking for solutions in the midst of that particular difficulty or setback. That's problem solving. You begin to use the knowledge you have, you begin to use the resources, the tools, the team around you, your leader. You use anything around you that is relevant to solve that particular problem. You go and do research if possible. You go and read more books if possible. You go and consult experts if possible. But you have to solve a problem. And let me tell you something about this society. Everybody in the world is looking for answers. If you can be able to position yourself as somebody who can provide answers to people, you will never be broke in your life. You will never struggle. Many people are stranded because they are not able to provide answers to the problems that people are going through. I was just having a chat with a good friend of mine, and she was saying that inflation is just increasing. And I told her that inflation will only increase till Jesus comes. As days go by, things will continue being very expensive. But here's the good news. Here's the good news. There are so many avenues for wealth creation. There are so many avenues to make money. The possibility to make wealth now is way bigger than it was 20 years ago. But you know the challenge? The knowledge gap and the skill gap. So many people don't have the knowledge and the skill to take advantage of the wealth available right now. So they are forced to be broke because things go more expensive and they remain the same because they cannot solve problems. That's the power of problem solving skills. It increases your ability for wealth creation as a professional in the marketplace. So in whatever you do, you can train yourself. And I'm talking about these things well because these are things that we train people around the world with. We train them to develop some of these skills. So you use this as a blueprint. One eye is not enough. If I want to train on public speaking, it can take me problem solving. It can take me 4 hours to train you on the dynamics of problem solving as a professional or an entrepreneur. But this session that Chris has organized is to give you a blueprint, is to assist you to understand, okay, this is the path I should be taking as a professional. Thank God for the internet. Thank God for Google. Thank God for YouTube. We also have an e-learning platform where you can go learn some of these things I'm teaching. I've handled them there in different courses in a more deeper way. You see? Good. The fifth employability skills that I will strongly encourage you that you should develop is called the ability to process issues. The ability to process issues. This is linked to problem solving skills, but it's much deeper. Sometimes we can process issues without acting. Like, for example, as we're having this session right now, there are two types of people. People who are just listening and they will actually remember nothing after this session. And there are people who are listening and they are processing. They are trying to analyze. They're analyzing and asking themselves questions. Okay, this thing that Joybert has said, how is it practical in my life? Where am I lacking right now? Where do I need to improve? How do I get help about this thing? That is the skill of processing issues. There are people who talk without thinking because they don't process issues. There are people who see things and they don't see value in that thing because they do not process issues. There are some people that when they see a land, they see better opportunities because they process issues. But as well, they see a land, they see on the land, they see nothing else because they don't process issues. The ability to use your brain, as I would like to say, God gave you a brain so that he should rest. Some Christians need to stop praying for things that God has given you the brain and the power to do on your own. Right? So
Yes,
start
but
using your brain. The brain is a very powerful tool. Okay, invest in it. I always say something funny. The only reason I travel the world is because they pay for this head. There's nothing else. Right? Because I've learned how to make good use of it. All they want to pay for is what I have in my head to tell them to hear, and I tell them, and they're good and they're
of
excited.
course,
Right? So
yeah,
when you invest into it to become good, so processing is, and let me tell you, executives and employers like people who can process things and come up with an outcome and tell them, oh, this, oh, I get it. Oh, I did not see it this way. Begin to look at things in diverse perspective. So do not just listen to me, but begin to ask questions in your head. And one sign of people who process things is that they take a lot of notes. Oh, yes. As you're listening, you're taking down notes. You're asking further questions. You're looking at what you can do, what you cannot do, and what you can start doing. You begin to process things. It's a very powerful skill. There is no way. And that's one thing that separates us from robots. Because we can look at things from different dynamics. And then we give the robot to just finalize it and follow a formula. Our brain is so gifted that can look at things from different dimensions. And then we can bring it all together and we can be able to do that. Good. The sixth skill that you need to be employable in the marketplace as a professional is the ability to take initiative. Oh, yes, the ability to take initiative. Let me say it this way. If you are listening to me right now and you still need somebody to wake you up from bed to do something serious with your life, you lack initiative.
yeah. That one is
As,
powerful.
as simple as that. You don't need to wait to get to the marketplace. If you are listening to me right now and you need somebody to motivate you to take a book and read to build your mental intelligence, you don't have initiative. If you are listening to me right now and you need somebody to advise you and motivate you to save money for your future, you don't have initiative. As simple as initiative. And employers don't like people they need to micromanage. Hello, have you done this? Have you done that? And what do you think to do? No, it's energy draining. There's no time. There's no time. You need to start taking initiative. Start from your personal life. If you are chief, some of you here are chief procrastinating officers. You can procrastinate for Africa. You don't take initiative and do things that make sense. I go, I will, I am planning to, I am thinking of. People like that never achieve anything that makes sense. You want to achieve in your life, start taking initiative. Be the kind of person that you have goals, you take initiative, and you achieve them. Stop waiting for Chris to come and motivate you. Chris to come and put some fire, to come and just make you become better. You get the point?
Exactly.
That is the concept. So take initiative. So if you are listening to me right now, you want somebody to beg you to get better from bed, go and repent. You want somebody to beg you to read a book, go and repent. Start taking initiative from your personal life. You will transfer that same culture into the workplace. And let me tell you, employers love people who can take initiative because those are the kind of people that advance companies. Those are the kind of people that create incredible projects. They see a problem, they start thinking. They see a problem in the evening, they go to the house. When they're coming in the morning, they're bringing a solution. Yes, sir, I saw this problem yesterday. These are the possible ways I think we can solve this problem. How would they not increase the salary? It's very possible. So learn how to take initiative. And this is one of those skills that can make you relevant in a company. They can sack everybody and keep you. Because they know that this man, you are a walking altar of initiative. You're a walking altar of solutions. You drive, it is people who take initiative that drive companies forward. So they can sack people, but they cannot sack you. Because they know that without you, this company has no future. You get the point? And many people are unemployed because they lack initiative. They are waiting for the government. They are waiting for their parents. There are some of you listening to me right now. You have never sat down to write a good CV. You lack initiative, but you need a job. You have never sat down to write a good cover letter. You have never really just stood up to maybe just go visit companies and all of that. You lack initiative. There are many people stranded right now because they do not take initiative. They are not enterprising at all. There are some of you that you have good genes to do business, but because you lack initiative, you have not even tried at all to even see whether you are good in business or not. This is a skill that can separate you from the rest. It's a skill that can separate you from many people. So begin to look at those areas in your life where you have just been average and doing nothing, and start taking action. You cannot claim that you have faith in God and you don't take initiative, because the Bible says faith without works is dead.
Of course, yeah.
Faith without initiative is dead. Take the first step. Take the first step. That's initiative. Take the first step. It's very important. Okay? And then planning and organizing. That's the next skill I will talk about. Planning and organizing. Planning and organizing is very important, a very important skill. If you don't, you need to learn how to plan your life. You need to learn how you can actually carefully plan your life in a way that you can see the future. Planning and organizing means that you are good at working out what you need to do. It means that you understand how to develop things and put them in timelines and meet deadlines and achieve the outcomes that you're looking for. That's the meaning of planning. Every productive person is a good planner. Every productive professional is a good planner. Every productive professional is very organized. Do you have a plan for next week? Do you have a plan for the month of September? Do you have a to-do list? Do you have a priority list? Because this is very important in the workplace. Because an employer wants to know that you know how to create priorities as far as the most important tasks are concerned in the marketplace. Very important. So planning and organizing remains critical for you to be employable. Nobody likes a scattered professional. Employers like people that are very organized and structured in a way that you know the next steps to take. And even if there is some something come and negatively affect your plan, you don't lose momentum. You are not totally lost, because you actually know exactly what you are supposed to do and your main goals, which is very critical for you to do. Now, the next skill I want to talk about is learning. The skill of learning. Yes, learning is a skill. Many people are stranded because they don't know how to learn. We live in a dispensation whereby you need to know how to unlearn and relearn. It's very important. The things that used to work 10 years ago are no longer working today. There are many of our parents that they find it difficult to fit in this our dispensation, because in their days there was no social media. In our days we have social media. In their days there was no mobile money. In our days there's mobile money. And as we keep on advancing, all of these things keep on changing. And that's why learning and unlearning has become a very powerful skill. So you need to have an open mind. That's why one thing I encourage professionals to do is be the kind of professional that you actually study trends in your industry. What does that mean? If you are in the tech industry, read articles, newspapers, and books of experts in your industry. If you are in healthcare, begin to follow websites and experts in that particular industry. If you're in agriculture, begin to do that, because that is how you unlearn and relearn. And I want to celebrate those who are following the session right now. It is because you have the spirit of learning. That's why you are here. And I hope I hope you are not here because of the giveaway that Chris was announcing. You don't have the skill. A good person learns whether the giveaway is there or not. Okay, but I want to celebrate you. You have the learning mentality, which is very important. That is what will take you places. If there's one thing that has really helped me as a person, is that I am very good at learning. I always say something funny: find where the world is going to, get there first, and teach others and make money. That's a fact. Find where your industry is going to, learn quickly, know what others are not willing to pay the price to know, then come and teach them to know it. You make money and you create impact. You see? So it's very critical for you as a person to consistently invest in learning, and not just any kind of learning. No, make sure that you invest in relevant learning. Learn as far as your industry is concerned. Learn about the innovation in your industry. Learn about the new projects in your industry. And not just also learn how to contribute in the knowledge sector. It's very important. Very, very powerful. So the next thing I want to talk about is creativity. I think we can go to questions. There are many of these skills. Let's go to questions. And maybe there's some questions that can lead me to actually mention some of the skills that I've not mentioned. Because as a skills expert, I can talk about more than 50 different skills, because it all depends on where you are, right? The next skill is creativity. You can add creativity and innovation. Creativity is very powerful. It's very powerful. And creativity goes hand in hand a lot with problem solving. It goes hand in hand with initiative. So you need to be creative. And one thing about creativity is just that ability to look at things from different dimensions. Begin to break things from different dimensions. And creative people are not afraid to try new things. They are not afraid to break conventional laws to introduce unconventional stuff, because it's creativity. You don't respect things that have been there for so long. You try to break out and introduce something new. So you need to learn how to be creative. And one thing that also encourages creativity is the ability to pick somebody's mind. No human being knows everything, but you can think about a thought and you can ask a friend a question, hear their perspective. Then you can combine all the different thoughts and you can form something new. You see? So it's very important. Now, somebody said innovation actually happens when what you know and what you don't know interlocks. That's when innovation happens. When what you know and what you don't know interlocks, that begins to happen. Okay, and then quickly, lastly, this is a very important point: adaptability. Adaptability is very important for employability. The marketplace is looking for people that can quickly adapt in several situations. Being able to adapt. There are some people that when they don't have access to anything, all they do is complain and murmur and cry and say funny stuff. Okay, but professionals who are employable learn how to adapt. If you come to the office and maybe your laptop is not there, how can you adapt in that situation? Don't just sit and cross your hand and say there's no laptop. You're not a professional. Professionals adapt. Adaptation means that you find a way to remain relevant and productive. You don't just sit because a challenge has hit you. You see, adaptation means also learning. Okay, COVID-19 came and a lot of things were moved to the internet. Okay, an adaptable professional starts taking courses on digital skills. Start learning those important platforms in your industry that you must know. That's adaptability. Adaptability means that, okay, they have laid you off from work because maybe the company is struggling. Instead of crying and complaining, oh, I've lost my job, I've done that. How can you adapt in that situation? What other skill do you have that you can start creating stuff and selling? How can you call some people in your network and say you're looking for a job and you share your CV with them? Learn to be adaptable. People who are very adaptable complain less. because they focus on adapting and solving the problem at hand. People who don't have adaptability skill complain and murmur a lot, because when something goes wrong, they focus only on the problem. But people with adaptability skill, when something goes wrong, they try to do a self-analysis, find out where they are, look at the resources at hand, and they start adapting to solve that particular problem. And that is how they advance their lives. I think that this actually needs like 5 different sessions to break
Yeah.
down employability skills. So this was 1 hour, so we can take some questions and maybe round up.
Yeah, of course, we are going to actually take some questions. I think that just like you said, it can actually be broken down to more than 5 sessions, because it's like all the skills are so mind blowing. And I'm like asking a question before I even go into looking at the questions that our viewers had today for you. I'm asking a question like, is it really possible, or are employers, which criteria do employers really use to be able to diagnose these skills during interviews? Like, because I understand that there are some people who actually lack jobs today because they lack those skills. Now,
Mhm.
is it actually, are these skills being inspected at the interview?
Yes, yes. Now, like back in Africa, part of my company, we provide recruitment services. So company hires to recruit for their companies. So if I sit with you during the interview, just how you talk can already open my mind to see some of the skills you have and you don't have. As simple as that. So employers know from just your talking is very important. And when you start talking, they start rating your self-confidence or positive self-concept and all of that. And they can, and that's why if you notice most recruiters, they like to ask a lot about practical things that you have done in your
Yeah.
previous job or in your school. They're trying to dig deep to understand some of these skills that you have. Some employers go to the extent where they even give you a task to do so they can validate if you actually have some of these skills. So yes, so they make this, they always try to detect this. And we should note that when employers are recruiting, they always have top employability skills that they want to see in that particular candidate they are looking for. That's why there are some jobs that when you see, they'll talk about problem solving skills, a broad mindset, or they'll mention all of these different skills. So you need to always, that's why when you're going for interview, don't just go blindly. Make sure you look carefully at that job and anticipate the kind of skills that you need to express in that interview. Or sometimes go to the internet and type top 5 employability skills of an accountant. The internet will give you. Look at them and then prepare your mind to make sure that your responses can fit in that particular direction. Because, and make sure that if you look at your life, do not lie, because your life, some people will know, right? You don't lie, some people will know.
Yeah.
Do not lie. Make sure that you're practical. And let me tell you, during interview, things that you did in school or problems you help your father to solve and all of that, you can use to prove that you carry something inside of you. Because many of these skills are attached to your personality. And your best personality, you express them in the house or with your family members. Okay, good.
And okay, that is so powerful, Doc. And then during this live show, you made mention of the fact that everybody needs employability skills. Like
Mm.
even someone who is doing, I believe that even somebody doing like buy and sell in the market needs
Yes.
employability skills, and someone looking for a job needs employability skills.
Mhm.
So this question I'm about to ask is to specifically help some of us who are sometimes are looking at possibilities of helping people who actually want to do something for themselves, but we
Mhm.
don't know how sure they are we can be with those people. Now, like a young man comes up to me and said, I need money, I need help to be able to get a job, or maybe help myself financially, pay transportation, or somebody says I want to do business. What are
Mhm.
some of those things that you can be able to immediately look in that person to see if this person is actually ready for what they want to do? Like not
Yeah.
making sure that your finances are set.
Yes, yes, very important, especially if you want to invest in somebody to start a business and all of that. It's very important because many people have actually tried to help people and help the wrong people, or people are not even serious with their
Yeah.
own lives. There are a couple of things that we need to look at that. And in that particular direction, I want to start from the foundation of it all. And I like to call it core values and principles. Now, when you want to help somebody, it's good to make sure that you know the person. So you may not ask a question directly, but you may try to engage with the person for a while so that you can be able to understand what are the values and the principles that this particular person actually embodies. And sometimes people can go as far as just going to study you on the internet. You see, just see, because on the internet, how you post and the things you say and where you relate on the internet sends a very strong message about yourself. You see, so it's very important that you are able to do that. So when you want to help somebody, one of the most important thing is get down to understand the person's what do they value as far as core values are concerned and as far as principles are concerned. And if you're able to see some iota of integrity, some iota of hard work, some iota of commitment, some iota of being able to respect their word, that is the foundation of it all. Then from there, other skills can come in where you start saying, okay, is this person taking initiative? And one of the signs of somebody who is taking initiative is, instead of coming and say, Mr. Chris, please help me, I want to start a business. And then B comes and say, Mr. Chris, I want to start this business, and this is the business I want to start. And 2 days ago, I went to the market to carry out research, and I've been trying to save some money. I have 10,000 francs. That alone sends a very strong message about that individual. You see, or
Yeah.
sometimes you can send the person back and say, okay, you know what? Like me, this is what I must do. If I really want to, if I'm in a position I can help, I give you a task. Okay, if you can go do this, I give you deadlines and goals. If you can go do this and do this and send me pictures, I'm going to give you add up capital to do this. Or I'm going to look for people in my network who like to help young people and I'll raise some money for the work that you do. Because we need to see track record. We need to see certain things about you that shows that you're serious. I, the truth is, don't just come to somebody and say, I need help. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't show that you really know what you're doing. Okay, there are
Yeah.
some things that if you're really serious about helping yourself, you should be able to do it. Like for those entrepreneurs, stop looking for money to start a business when you have not risked your own money in that business, even if it is 10,000 francs. You cannot claim that you don't have even 1,000, 5,000, even proof that, and apart from money, proof that you have done something extra that is not monetary in monetary terms, but it's something that somebody can listen and say, oh, you know what? This is some level of hard work. This is some level of determination. Then it gives also the person who wants to help the impression that you understand what you want to do.
Okay. That is so helpful. And then we have a question on the screen here for you from Foyni Wong Wongjibe. So it
Yes.
says, yeah, yep. So Dr. Javnyuy, how do you go about building these skills? I'm talking about a child in the suburbs of Kom or Oku who wants to be good at these things.
Yes. When you say a child, what do you mean? So I want to assume that this child, you're talking about a youth, a young person, because you're a child, should be in primary school or secondary school, right?
Yes.
So we're talking about a young person. Let me tell you, in this particular dispensation, a lot has happened. I mean, I used to be in Oko. I used to travel to Oko to go and train young people. Some used to come to church. I used to go to the Fun Palace and train. So apart from that, there are libraries in Oko and all of that. So some of these things, reading is the foundation of it all. You understand? Reading is a foundation of it all. The ability to have the desire to learn and to go to places where you can study is the foundation of it all. So it's very important that when you are after high school or in high school and whatever, some of these things are things that people just need to be aware of. And that's why I'm happy with the fact that, like in Cameroon, there are many people that go back to villages and all of that to raise awareness. All of these villages that he mentioned, I have been there personally to speak in these villages to young people and in their churches and all of that. Some will show up, some will not show up. You see, so it all starts with the decision where people need to take that self responsibility that they need to become better. And they start taking action to actually do that. And when they do that, it becomes easy for them to actually succeed. Yeah.
Well, I think this is so powerful. We are almost about 5 minutes to the end of the show, and then we have to just take some. I know we have a lot of questions here, and we cannot be
Oh,
able to answer all
interesting.
of them today. A lot of people have questions, but I think that we'll be able to answer all your questions in due course. But let's take the few that we have. Like Chantal is asking, he says, please, sir, what are some of the steps to have a successful business?
Okay. Now, you see, one thing that we need to work on is asking the right questions. Is
Yeah.
it a business you are already running or a business you want to start? So these are two different things. If you want to start, first of all, one thing that drives for you to start a good business are two important things for me: the problem that you want to solve and the skill that you have as a person to solve that particular problem. When these two things come together, you can be able to run a very successful business. Okay, so you need to start that particular business. Make sure that the problem is there, the available market is there, the people who are willing to pay for that particular product or that service you want to produce is there. Secondly, have the skills that can enable you to actually start and run that business. And that's why general business management skill comes in. The ability to actually know how to manage a business is very important. You see, and that's why some of these skills I mentioned, they are all core skills in managing a good business. And to conclude with this, for any business to succeed, marketing and sales remain critical. Marketing
Oh,
and sales remain critical. No
this is
matter what
powerful.
you're doing, if you don't know how to make people know what you are selling, what you are producing, you'll not have a successful business. You see, as I would like to say, if you cannot do marketing and sales, go back and get a job, right? So, because you need is a hardcore until you are so passionate about your business that you are willing to carry on your head under the sun and under the rain to sell, you are not ready for business. You get a point? So it's very
Yes.
important. You need to keep on seeking better ways that you can manage the business, promote the business, and of course, get the right sales.
Well, and then we have the last question for the day, which is, I mean, though it's the last question, is the most important question because I know that we have talked about these skills today. We have talked about a lot that people need, and people have been able to learn that one of the reasons why they remain unemployed is because they lack these skills. Now, how will they be able to acquire these skills? Like someone just left, maybe we have a lot of people who just left the university. I know they don't teach these things in the university,
Yeah.
communications, you will not learn, and all these things. So, how will they get these skills to prepare them for employment?
Now, for example, like here, one thing with our young people is that they many people are not very agile to actually go to places where they can learn. It's very important. You see, like for example, this particular session, I think the flyer went viral. Many people saw it, but not half have attended the program. That's a fact. You see,
Yes.
so and they will not, and until you attend programs like this, your mind will not be opened up to actually know some of these things that people who are here have actually learned the stuff. Okay, that's the first thing. You need to be willing to go after the knowledge. Go after the knowledge. Go and learn some of these things. When you hear of seminars, go and attend. You hear of workshops, go and attend. You hear of webinars like this, go and attend. There are platforms. Like personally, me in Cameroon, I was checking my track record. I've organized almost 800 events in Cameroon in the last 12 years. I mean, physical
Wow.
events. Physical events. I have taught on employability skills in Cameroon in almost all the major cities. I've taught on how to start a business and run a good business in almost all the major cities in Cameroon. You see, and these things are there, and some of these things are on YouTube. If you are following this, many of these things I've taught on my YouTube channel. You can go there. Remarkable Success with Javnyuy Joybert. You'll see it there. And we also have an e-learning platform called Peak Performance University, where we strictly teach employability skills and business success skills on that university, right? It's not a typical university, but it's a university where you learn practical things that I'm talking about, like this, which can enable you to actually be able to thrive and learn some of these things. So you can go to. I will drop the link in any of these
Yeah,
comments, and
that's what I was just about asking for. If you can
yes,
drop the link, it will be
let,
so
let me send to
helpful.
you. let me send to you in the chat box,
Okay,
and
yes.
and you can share. Yes.
Yeah. Just let me share right away.
Awesome.
Yes, guys, we are going to drop the link for you to be able to, because you have to build yourself. I think this is the most important part of the live show, to get those skills. Where you can be able to get the skills, it's very important.
Good. So on this platform that Chris is going to put here, when you study a course, you can actually, you're going to get a certificate, actually, because these things are good to get a certificate to prove that you have acquired a new skill. Okay, so look at that. Many of these things I have spoken about, some of these skills, you need them. There are some people that you read market or you read management. You need a certificate in problem solving skill to prove that you have learned the framework to solve problems in the marketplace. It enables you to actually become better. So Peak Performance University, ppversity.com. Go there, you're going to see different courses. There are free courses and there are paid courses. Okay, the paid courses are very, you'll see a course for 5,000. I think the highest course is about 10,000 francs. So they are very affordable for anybody who is actually serious. There are also free courses. There's a particular free course I'll recommend everybody to take. It's a very important free course on employability, on making yourself employable. Let me look for the title of that free course.
And
It's,
just like, yeah,
yes.
so I think that we made a statement here today that we are going to choose some people and who are actively looking for employment and help them. This is
Mhm.
also an opportunity for us to subsidize. So we'll be able to,
Exactly.
like those of you who can go to the website and get courses that you are able to learn, we will be able to choose some of you and help subsidize. We can pay half of the amount that you are paying to
Exactly.
learn. Yeah, this is a way to be able to support
So
you. So if you are part of this
what
live
we're
show,
gonna do is Chris, we'll create a discount, a coupon, a discount code for Voice of the Voiceless, so that you can share to those people that you want to give them. So maybe if a course is 5,000, you pay for 2,500, and then they can pay for 2,500, and you're good to go. So it makes it easy. So we'll create
that is
a
perfect.
special discount for Voice of the Voiceless, and then you can share to your people that you have selected for that, and they can go study on their own, get a certificate. If they have any issues, there's always a standby customer support team to advise and help them go through with any challenge.
That is so perfect. And I hope everybody watching today, you have been able to learn something, and you also you are going to build yourself after the live show. We will go ahead. We should be able to get some of you um, that we will be selecting today to help establish you, because it's not just about giving you the finances. How
Mhm,
will it help you? So we want to build you, um, materially, so that you can be able to get something to support your tomorrow.
mhm.
Yeah, Doctor, we want to thank you so much for taking time to speak with us today. Do you have any last words before we end the program?
My last words to anybody listening to me is this. Do not let your present challenges cloud the future possibilities you have. For many of us that we are from Africa, from Cameroon, and from different places and all of that, sometimes our environment can be a big influence and cloud our judgment not to see the beautiful future that we have for ourselves. I want to encourage you. One of the fastest ways out of poverty is for you to become excellent and competent in your field. If there is one thing that helped me to beat poverty as a person, is that I became good at what I do. And that's why I encourage reading. I read a lot. I study a lot. I'm always learning. Thank God for the internet. Thank God for YouTube videos. You see, these things are very important. If you really want to become the best, let me tell you something. Nobody will pay you because you're tall. Nobody will pay you because you're fat. Nobody will pay you because you are from a poor family. People only pay you because you can create value for them. And there's no way you can create value with the wrong mindset and when you don't have the right skills. So in all that you do, I want to challenge you. Invest in your competence. Make sure that a day should not pass when you are not a better person. Today is Saturday. I always say something funny. If you enter Sunday, the same person you are today, Saturday, you are a disappointment to Monday. What am I trying to say? If you enter tomorrow, the same person you are a disappointment to your future self, because you will never make money, and create impact beyond the quality of your skills, your mindset, and the knowledge that you carry. So keep on learning. Don't lose hope, and believe that the future possibilities are there waiting for you to manifest.
Thank you so much, Doc. We absolutely appreciate. I mean, I organized this live show today to be able to help people, but I must confess that I've also learned a lot, and I'm also inspired and believe that I also have to do more. So if you attended this live show today and you haven't learned anything, then I don't know what to tell you. And so we are looking forward to working with you to create the coupon for our followers, those that we can be able to help them gain some courses or learn some knowledge through the Peak Performance University. And
Awesome.
thank you again for joining, and enjoy the rest of your afternoon. So I know it's still 2 p.m. also in Texas.
Yes, it is. Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you. I'm so happy. And thank you. I want to celebrate for creating a platform like this. You don't know the incredible impact we are doing, but our people need this. We need this as a people. And please keep doing this, because even if it's one life that is changed, but we have not changed one life. We're seeing tens of people here right now. That is something that money cannot even pay you. Thank you so much for doing this. And I celebrate you. Thank you.
Thank you, Doc. Okay, bye. Hello, guys. We want to thank all of you who have been part of this program today. We are going to continue to work after the program to make sure that we fulfill our promises. We will need to get some of you who can be able to attend the program. Now, if you want to be part of the program, you want to get a course, you want to learn something, just drop a comment. Let's know why you think that will be important, what actually you need to learn. We can be able to see if we'll go ahead and select you as part of the people who will be sponsored. So we are going to pay part of the fee for you to learn the course of your choice. This is to help you gain employment, and not just help you gain employment, but to also be able to keep the employment. We are also going to select some people after this live show, as we did say. It might not just be immediately, because there are tons and tons of people. So we actually have a criteria, or we actually usually have a way we look to make sure that we give you support. And most of these people that we are going to support today will be those who are actually willing to take a course, because this money can also help as part of your or can pay as part of the money that you will need to learn a course at the Peak Performance University. Knowledge is so powerful. Thank you, guys. We will be ending this live show right now, and we will have more sessions that will be coming up, more educative sessions like this, and we will keep you in touch. Enjoy the rest of your evening, guys, and bye.
Voice of the Voiceless TV presents to you weekly echoes featuring education, entertainment, entrepreneurship debate, arts, and culture. This is Voice of the Voiceless. Be a voice, not an echo.
Man for me, love will like Virtual one goes away. We proud of who we are. Virtual one goes away. We proud of who we are.
Me a wandang bagal mo, and a wandang jang man jongo, my brother. I find the bus pull up jabang, we go still chop out my sister.
When they see me coming, Ike la wagon la boys, money for me, follow me. Turula musita, kilo wikisa, Inshallah, Jumkere, there's the one side, can you hear the trouble sound?
Jumkere, man for me, love will like one. Virtual one goes away. We proud of who we are. Versi tutti, nay, versi tauti, Virtual one goes away. We proud of who we are. Jumkere, man for me, love will like one. Virtual one goes away. We proud of who we are. chengule no, Ovine Constancy, Ben we are watching go, Ovine Constancy, Ben Siganse chengule no, Ovine Constancy, Ben we are watching go, Ovine Constancy.
Yeah, I'll sing some. If you know say you be proud of your beginning, make you the shine your light. Just follow me, oh, follow me, oh, follow me, shine your light. Le bango le wa, we been yo, then your identity, we been yo, then your identity. Come any pan this one again. I be proud of me licky girl, yeah, I'm proud of who I am, yeah, c'est pas point to, oh yeah. Bafusa moye, bangante bangjunye, genta asinta asindo.
Can't man for me, love will I want. Everyone goes away, we proud of who we are. There's it to tonight, there's it today. Everyone goes away, we proud of who we are. Then Siganse Jengle do, Ovine Constancy. We are watching go, Ovine Constancy. Ben Siganse Jengle do, Ovine Constancy. Ben we are watching go, Ovine Constancy.
Come see the special place where I come from. The moon is bright, we telling stories round the bonfire. We get the firewood and we get the power. We get the sauce, yes, we are proud of who we are. Now not to saw all man, not to
yeah, boy, I konga tuma. One so yo alaya kisanga. Ile. Vusena tuwa phobia. Na yo adari. Ayo adari.
Jere, can't man for me, love will I want. Everyone goes away, we proud of who we are. There's it to tonight, there's it today. Everyone goes away, we proud of who we are. Jere, can't man for me, love will I want. Everyone goes away, we proud of who we are. There's it to tonight, there's it today. Everyone goes away, we proud of who we are. Then Siganse Jengle do, we proud of who we are. Ben we are watching go, we proud of who we are. Ben Siganse Jengle do, we proud of who we are. Ben we are watching go, we proud of who we are. 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 We proud of who we are.
Points of correction. Not be bouncer boy, and sock boy. The boy from sock. That is what I'm saying.
Okay, we'll take another shot.